Automakers set to report their April car sales today. New car sales expected to decline nearly 2% year over year. Joining us now is FoxNews.com Automotive Editor, one of my favorite people, Gary Gastelu, on what to make of this decline in sales. Again, it was the decline in auto sales that really impacted that slow consumer spending in the first quarter GDP report we got last Friday.
Yeah, we are looking at analysts pointing to 1 or 2% down, if not flat. Probably going to be down a little bit. Look, we're coming off several years of growth, 2 record years in a row, so it's really hard to stack up to that for a continued period of time. And part of the reason we're seeing a slowdown now is because of the success of those years. A lot of those cars are coming onto the market as used cars now, 3 or 4 years old, and that's competing against the new cars. Look, used cars today are great. You can get the CPOs on them, and we're talking 17 million cars a year for new car sales.
CPO is certified pre-owned.
Certified pre-owned, exactly. And a lot of the brands.
I'm a nerd, I know that.
You know, a lot of the brands are getting into that, not just the luxury brands, but the mainstream brands as well. So this is a very appealing choice for someone who's out there shopping right now. Look, 17 million new cars are sold every year. We're talking more like 38 million used cars. That's a big market, and when you have a big flood of cars coming in, that's going to affect new car sales.
How are the trucks and SUV sales doing? Because a huge driver in terms of not just sales, but the profitability of these automakers. Are you still seeing the demand for
this is still and the car makers are moving towards that. We're seeing less small cars getting introduced. Sales in the small car end is still dropping. Sales in the crossovers, the SUVs, and the pickup trucks are still going up.
Now, how would we were talking earlier about a potential increase in the gas tax to fund some of this infrastructure plan. What effect would that have? Would that have a big, 35 cents potentially? Would that have a big impact on, causing consumers to shift back to smaller vehicles? Or what's the feeling in the automotive industry about that?
You know, New Jersey just raised their gas tax, and it really hasn't seemed to have much of an effect. Finally, after all
but they
these
pump
years.
your gas for you.
The numbers they're talking about probably aren't big enough right now, but if you combine that with an increase in fuel prices, which nobody's really forecasting right now, but if gas jumps up and then you've got that tax on top of it, now we're talking a little bit of an effect. I don't think that's going to shift. People are going to shift away from SUVs now, and the fuel economy in SUVs now and in trucks are much better than they were even 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. You're going to need a big increase in fuel economy in fuel prices to really shift it again. We're talking $4 a gallon, really, before people start moving back into cars.
I want to talk to you about luxury car sales because they seem to be doing better than overall new vehicle sales, and it could be because of millennials. Is that true? A new study out by QuantCast shows that millennials prefer purchasing luxury vehicles because of the lower entry-level luxury market. They're now entering major milestones that require them to make big purchases. Do you think that's helping in part these luxury car sales?
Yeah, the car makers really caught this wave because millennials were out of the market for a while. They were cautious about it after the economic downturn. They're coming into it now, though. Everybody thought they didn't like cars. They just couldn't afford them or didn't think they should be spending money on them.
Right. It's like they were raised on video games and not learning to drive.
Turns out they just didn't want to spend money, or they were afraid to spend money, or they didn't have it. Things are improving now. They're more confident, so they're moving back into there. And the luxury automakers at the same time were starting to add these $30,000, $35,000 models. That's bringing them in there. And that's important because one thing about millennials, they're very brand loyal. You get them in the door at that price point, you're going to keep them there. And this is extremely important when it comes to a brand, luxury brand.
And I will add one thing. If you want to buy a luxury car, go buy a used luxury car that was certified pre-owned.
And that's a big growth area.
You can get huge, a much bigger, much more engine and automobile.
And even that moves you into a new car eventually, and that's exactly what they want to do.
Loyalty to the brand.
Yeah, I never buy a
Well, they say you lose value as soon as you drive it off the lot.
And once you move into that luxury area, you're not going back either. That's important because that's
Amen to that, Gary Gastelu. Amen to that. Thank you. Thank you, Gary. Good to see you.